There is something so rewarding about learning something new. As a self-taught sewer, there are countless tips and techniques still to learn. In today's sewing tutorial, we'll be constructing the zipper front jacket from the San Fran style pattern. Let's go ahead and get started. To construct the San Fran style jacket, you're going to need a lightweight woven material for the exterior portion, a contrasting color for the inside, a rib knit fabric for the collar, the cuffs, and the waistband, and one separating zipper. The pattern pieces included for the jacket are the front, the back, the sleeve, the zipper placket, the waistband, collar, and cuff. The first step in our sewing construction is to take the front of the jacket, place it right sides together to the back, and sew the shoulder seams. With the sleeves installed, we'll grab our ribbed cuff. We'll fold it in half lengthwise and then attach it to the sleeve at the raw edge, tacking it to one side and pulling the cuff across as we sew it in place. With our cuffs installed, we'll place the jacket front and back sections right sides together and sew the side seams. At this point, you want to match the cuff and also match the underarm seam. Off camera, I created the lining to the jacket utilizing the same steps as the exterior portion. The only difference being that I replaced the cuff of the jacket with an actual hem to the lining. To get our ribbed waistband attached, you'll find the center of the waistband. You'll match the center of the waistband to the center of the jacket and pin it right sides together, matching the front openings. As you sew, you'll pull the waistband to match the waist edge of the jacket, basting it in place. We'll place our lining right sides together to the jacket with the ribbing sandwiched in between. We'll get the two pieces sewn together. With our lining attached, I've pressed it into the jacket and pressed the lining of the sleeves into the sleeves. We'll set this aside just for a second and grab our zipper placket. We'll place it right sides together and sew around the curved edge and across the bottom. We'll trim down our seam allowance, turn the placket right side out, and give it a press. Remember that on your placket, that curved edge is the top of the placket. You're going to grab your zipper with the raw edges of the placket to the left side, and with the zipper right side up, you're going to place the zipper to the placket. You're going to align the raw edges of the placket with the side of the zipper and also match the base of the zipper. At this point, if the zipper is a lot longer, don't worry about that. We can adjust that when we get a little bit farther in our sewing. So with your pins, you're going to carefully pin that in place, and then we'll take it over to the sewing machine and sew it in place with our zipper foot. Next, we'll grab our placket and we'll place it to the front of the jacket on the right side, leaving the lining free. You'll line up the top of the jacket and the top of the placket and pin it all the way down to the waist. When you get down to the rib knit, you'll pull the rib up and over the bottom of the placket and pin it. I've unpicked 1/4 inch of my lining so that I can make the lining free when I sew that seam. Before sewing the seam, I'm going to turn the rib knit down one more time, 1/4 inch, so that I have that as the turn up fold for the finished waist edge in a few steps from now. Over at the sewing machine, I'll sew this together right along the original zipper seam. To finish the lining to the inside of the placket, we're just going to turn that front raw edge of the lining under 1/4 inch and line it up right up the placket and hand finish it in place with a needle and thread. Before separating our zipper and attaching it to the left side of the jacket, I did take a chalk marker and indicate where the zipper and the jacket are going to meet, both at the top and the bottom on that side. I also went ahead and unpicked the lining 1/4 inch, just like I did on the opposite side. So at this point, you can undo your zipper. Matching the marks on your zipper, you'll align it with the raw edge of the left opening. You'll pin all the way down the front until you get to the rib knit. At the bottom, you'll roll your rib knit up and over the bottom of the zipper. You'll also turn the top edge down 1/4 inch before you actually install the seam. At the sewing machine, we'll get that side of the zipper installed. With the left side of our zipper installed, we'll finish the lining to the zipper tape as we did on the other side. You'll turn the raw edge of the lining under 1/4 inch, and then you'll line it up with the seam used to install the zipper and hand finish it in place with a needle and thread. To finish the waistband, we're going to turn the edge under 1/4 inch and pin it all along the jacket edge just above the seam. Once you have everything pinned in place, you can stitch in the ditch close to that seam from the right side of the jacket. Before cutting off our excess zipper tape, we're going to create a couple of stops at the top of the zipper. You'll grab a needle and thread and cast it over the zipper teeth several times to create a new stop. Once you're confident that you have enough stitches to prevent that stop from pulling off, you can tie it off at the back and cut off the extra zipper tape. Before attaching the collar, we'll pin the lining to the jacket at the neckline and baste the two pieces together. With our collar pieces placed right sides together, we'll sew around the outside edge, leaving the inner neck unsewn. We'll clip and trim the seam allowance, turn the collar right side out, and give it a press. To get the collar attached, you'll find the center of the collar. You'll take a single layer, matching it to the center back of the jacket. Gently pulling it, you'll pin it all the way to the front, extending the collar to the finished edge on both the right and left front opening. The final step to complete the project is to turn the collar edge up 1/4 of an inch, covering up the seam that you just sewed at the neckline and hand finishing it in place, or you have that option to sew it in the ditch like you did at the waistband. After we complete that step, we'll get the jacket fit to the doll and get those final photographs. As you can see from the final photographs, Ellowyne exhibits just the right amount of sass in her new San Fran style outfit. The short-waisted jacket with the contrasting lining creates the perfect pop to elevate Ellowyne's style. There are many techniques that can be used to achieve the same result. Today's tutorial shows you one of the ways to install that separating zipper. If you have any questions about the steps that were used to create the jacket, please list it in the comments section below. I also encourage you to share there any tips or techniques that you found useful in installing separating zippers. Thank you guys so much for coming along with me today. I invite you to hit that like and subscribe button, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.